guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be discussing how I found my aesthetic school. Hopefully this can help anyone who's out there looking for, a school to start, what courses are offered as well to help develop them on their aesthetic/dermatology journey. Just a few things, don't forget to like, thumbs up, share, subscribe to this video. I do hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. So we've got another whispering video for you because it's really early in the morning again. Insomnia, I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I'm basically going to be speaking about my journey into aesthetic school and I guess where I plan to go from here. So I started my journey maybe around a year ago. I was working in an office job and it was okay. Customer service is like really difficult, but obviously it taught me a lot of skills and stuff. But yeah, throughout that process, skin was something that I became really interested in, especially when I found a dermatologist that worked for me and I realised how it basically managed to transform my life, I guess, and my confidence and how I felt about myself. And I just felt like, a lot of people experience these things on a day-to-day life, and it's something that I would really like to be a part of to help people feel more confident and knowledgeable about their skin, how to, treat people's disorders, diagnose them, and help them to manage it or eradicate it entirely. Like, it is a big self-esteem boost for people, and also just to help people do things in their day-to-day lives. I know when you've got things like maybe psoriasis, eczema, even hives, like, I know it can be very painful and sometimes it can be embarrassing for some people. So I just feel like with the knowledge that I have, I should put my skills to good use and do something that I'm interested in and help people with those sort of conditions, as well as the aesthetic side as well, but I'll get into that. So yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about and researching for a while in regards to doing nursing. I had seen courses, but I felt a bit nervous to apply for it. I'd been to uni before, so I'd done undergrad in clinical psychology, and I just never really saw myself going to uni again. More so because of having to like study again, do exams again, and my first time going uni wasn't that great for me due to being a bit of like an introvert and stuff like that. But eventually the time came. I had a death in my family, and it kind of made me realise that life is quite short, and I should do something that I'm passionate about and make the most of what I can do with my youth and my skills and my knowledge. So I basically decided to apply. So I applied for 5 different unis for nursing. I got interviews for all of them, got offers from 4 out of 5. I basically narrowed it down and picked the best one in London. So I'm studying there now, and as well as doing that course, I basically decided to do an aesthetic course as well, because that is an area that I'm also very interested in. And if I do manage to have my own practice, I want to do both. I want to do dermatology and aesthetics. So how I found my aesthetic school, I've done a lot of research online, mainly for my specific requirements. So the course that I wanted to do was basically skincare. So I looked for skincare courses in London because I wasn't willing to travel outside of London. So I found a list of, a whole bunch of different schools. I began to narrow it down mainly by looking at reviews and also whether the course was like internationally qualified. I want to be able to use my qualifications in different countries. So focusing on those specifically, I managed to narrow it down to 2. What I did do was I spoke a lot to like the course officers and stuff. So I was contacting them by phone call, by email, sorry. I was asking a lot of questions about the course, what I could expect to do afterwards with the course, how long it runs for, like their pass and failure rate, like probably they found it a bit weird, but I just feel like it's really important to do because you're spending your hard-earned money to get a qualification. You want to make sure that it's the best sort of qualification that you can use, and you're not, you're being taught to a high standard, so you don't have to repeat anything or experience many problems. So yeah, I spoke a lot to them by phone and email. And then once I'd done that, I basically booked appointments at both, and this was to go there, have a look around at the facility, see the rooms that I would be working in, and also to look at portfolios of previous students. So I booked a day when I wasn't at work because I was still working at this time, and I basically took a trip down there. So the first one that I went to was basically half a building site because something was happening with COVID basically, and they had to share the building with like a different work agency. But anyway, so I went there, I met the girl was really, really lovely. Like we had a really good conversation, and I was really gravitating towards that school in particular, probably because she was so friendly and like nice, and we related on a lot of stuff. Yeah, so I got to look at student portfolios and stuff like that, see the work that they done, and I felt like, yeah, I can do this, like it's fine. Had a look at some of the treatment rooms. There was actually a class running, so I got to like have a peek in the class. It seemed okay. The classrooms were, I guess, a bit small, but other than that, it was fine. And I had a look at the kits as well that they give to students that start there. So yeah, everything seemed really good. They had like a ground floor spa, they had a salon and stuff that you can do shifts in with your qualifications and stuff. So it was really interesting. It was a really good informative insight, and I really recommend that that's something you do just to, get a feel for the place. You don't want to pay and you haven't looked around and stuff like that, and you get there and the environment just doesn't feel right, because that's a really important factor, towards your learning and your studying. You want to feel comfortable where you are. You want to meet the staff and feel supported and understood as a student. So do take that into account. The second one I had a look at was much smaller, and it's more of an old-fashioned school. So I went there and it was like really tiny. I think there were like 2 classrooms, but it was very beautiful. It was like the interior was really nice. And another thing about it was the products that they use. So this college actually practiced with Dermatologica products, whereas the first college didn't. So that was like a big standout to me, because I know Dermatologica is quite a reputable brand. So being able to practice with those sort of products was like good. Like I wanted to basically do it. So I met the course officer there. We had a bit of a discussion. I didn't get like the same vibe from her that I got from the first course officer, but that could also be down to me as well. Yeah, that could have also been down to me as well. So yeah, that's something to consider, I suppose. Anyway, so we had more of a talk just about the school in general and the course and what to expect. I didn't get to have a look at any student portfolios as there wasn't any on hand. So yeah, I mean, I had a look at their beauty kits as well for the course, and they seemed a bit nicer than the first course, but the first course was a bit more practical in the sense of their uniform was like better, like you actually had a tunic, and they gave you like a bag to carry as well to put all your stuff into, so that was quite practical, whereas the second school did not. The main reason why I chose the second school was it was cheaper. It was about £200 cheaper, and the reviews were phenomenal. So considering that I'll be saving myself a bit of money, as you know, balancing a master's and an aesthetic program, that was like, it felt really positive. It felt like something that was smart to do. And being in a smaller classroom as well, I felt like I could get better learning, better one-to-one learning, better attention on what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. And that just felt like, you know, sort of the best place to go. So after visiting both of these schools, I didn't book my place straight away. I'd say I waited, so this was January. I waited 9 months. I literally waited 9 months, like a pregnancy. So I waited 9 months, and then after a while, I decided to book onto the course. So I started the course the same time as I begun my master's. I actually feel like it helped because in my master's, I learned a lot of like anatomy and physiology, and that's a really big component of aesthetics, especially when it comes to things like peels, facials, fillers. You want to know sort of what areas you're massaging, where you're draining from, etc. But I'll get into that another time. So yeah, that really helped me actually on the course. If that's something that you're interested in, do consider class capacity and what works best for you. Some people work better in groups. Some people prefer a bit more of a connection with their personal tutor. I do feel like that's something important to have. A tutor that you can connect with is better in terms of, you know, giving you that support that you need, because aesthetics is quite difficult. Not so much theory for me, but more so, I guess, the practical side. It's not as straightforward as I thought it would be. There's a lot that you need to learn, and you know, it's a Saturday course, so it's about 7 weeks. You've got a lot to cram in within those weeks. You should be able to, you know, communicate with your tutor if you're experiencing any difficulty. If you feel, you know, you need a bit of assistance with learning something else, a really good tutor will be able to, you know, maybe help you buddy up with someone in the classroom to, you know, practice on each other with the facials for an extended period of time, just so you can let that knowledge sink in and stuff. So you want to have a really good tutor. My tutor's amazing, she's fantastic. And yeah, and last but not least, my course, the course is what they call VTCT qualified. So I can use this qualification in quite a few different countries, and that was an absolute no-brainer, as I don't know if I will live in London for, you know, the next foreseen years. So ensuring that the course could be used internationally was very, very important for me, and it should be for you as well. So when you do look for a course, do look for one that you can use in many different countries, as you know, the world is your oyster. You don't know what you may want in the next few years, so it's a very good option to have rather than having to start all over again. There's a few other options, like I believe Cedesco as well. Those courses do tend to be a bit longer, and those are also internationally recognised as well. Also, ensure that the school offers a programme within a suitable amount of time. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of day courses. I don't think it's enough time to learn and practice what you need to learn, such as technique, you know, areas of the muscle, capillaries and stuff that you need to learn about, their functions. I just feel like a day course ain't enough. So you might want to look for something that's a weekend course for a certain amount of weeks, or you might want to look for a course over a certain amount of months. It depends what's best suited to you, so do inquire about that as well. Sometimes programs can change. And yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. Anything else, I'll probably make a new video or comment it down below. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope it can help some of you who are looking for aesthetic schools. I know it can feel like a whirlwind and a lot to take in, but yeah, hopefully this video will help. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.